Hello wonderful people, Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and today I'm going to be doing a live review of the new compilation from Halcyon Records, Enchanted Volume 1. Halcyon are back, first release of 2021, and a lot of people wondering how and when they were going to announce themselves this year, but yeah, trailer dropped. People thought it might be Halcyon Sound Volume 2, but no, what we have right here, a new compilation altogether. Extremely exciting, and Halcyon, of course, being one of the most exciting labels in bass music at the moment, don't think anyone could deny that. And they've garnered quite a fan base in the last half year or so, that they've been a thing, as it were, you know, an entity, if you will. But yeah, not just the music, I would say, but visually as well. People have just completely fallen in love with everything they're about, which, you know, it's deserved. You know, a lot of good stuff there from the label. But yeah, this new compilation, a nice list of names on show, was just having a good scroll through it here. And, you know, some more household, others a bit more lesser known and more underground perhaps, but wondering just how it'll differ from Halcyon Sound and what newness it'll bring from the label. But yeah, here we go, 9 tunes. Hearing them all for the first time, providing comment along the way. You know how we do by now. Let's go. First up, we have Solo by Autumn Hate. Okay, let's go. Oi! Oi! Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely. Really warm opening, you know, really luring you in. Quite inviting and, yeah, just warm, as I said. But the heaviness following it as well. You didn't know whether, you know, what direction it was going to go down, but just following, you know, following in that way with the warmness of it. Inviting appeal, but just a heavy version with the drop. Yeah, that was lovely. I just love when rhythmy music can be that warm and inviting and pretty and glacial in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like, it has this kind of this feeling of, I don't know, like ice melting and just having that nice kind of sheen on it, if you know what I mean. It's just very, very beautiful, and yeah, something that you would just love to look at in the distance as a kind of picturesque moment, if you will, like a still in far away in a mountain. Yeah, that's kind of what it reminded me of. Just the musicality of it overall was very, very nice to hear and sweet on the ear, and from that moment you're just like, yeah, I want to hear more of it. The idea as well for that first drop was good. I think, yeah, it had quite a jumpy outlay from what I remember, and the kind of darting out of sound, which was a good effect, a good technique. I like that. The midsection was nice as well. I think that was a good way of kind of, yeah, just reminding us of the overall tone and atmosphere of the track. Again, very pretty. Do think maybe it could have been just stretched out a bit longer to embellish that atmosphere in the middle point just a bit more, but no, it was good. And then following that, the second drop, just a nice way, I think, of toning the track down, and good that he switched it up, even though it was a bit of a tone down in terms of emotion and overall feeling. So yeah, first one here, kicking it off in a very nice and subtle way, but with a couple of heavy moments dropped in to just realise that warmness and inviting appeal in a different way, which is good. I liked it. Production good, overall feeling good, ideas are good, and a bit of variation within it as well. So yeah, that was nice. Liking it, a good start, carrying on. Next up, Sea Shanty, Ominous. Okay, let's go. Bit darker maybe. That melody.
Oh, there's little droplet sounds in the background. Oh, there we go, there we go. The snare I just can't get behind at all. Doesn't really back up the good that we're getting on top here. Nice wavy feel to it though, and yeah, liking the way it's kind of snaking along. Really good flow. Musicality is so good. Really liking it. That. Oh. Oh! That kind of musicality is just god tier, fam. The sounds fitting it as well. Do you know what I mean? They had a kind of gloomy, a bit of a spooky feel to them, and yeah, they just fit so well as a kind of combination of sound choice and note direction. Perfect stuff, I would say, and we got that throughout the whole tune. You know, in the introduction, announcing itself, and then, you know, kind of in bits here and there in the drop with the fantastic flow we were getting there in the heaviness. You know, not just the first drop, but both of them. So, yeah, got that in the midsection and outro as well. The flow of the heaviness I found really good, you know, ominous and full flow in that regard. And yeah, the way that it kind of just swims along and snakes along. Maybe the best at that, do you know what I mean? In terms of doing or having fantastic flows on a very consistent basis. Like, that is what we know and love him for. That's his thing. And he's done that again here. Just the effortless feel of it, do you know what I mean? Like, that is what we know and love him for. So, yeah, ominous sea shanty, that was pretty fucking good. Next up we have UK with Q-Tip, and you know, not the kind of thing that you might put in your ear, but the kind of thing, well, he's giving us tips on how to get in a queue. So, yeah, here we go. This is good fun. This is good fun. Gotta say it. Yeah, some fucking good sounds in there. I mean, again, a thing of the flow being fantastic. The drawback I have here, you know, I'm not going to mention it again. I'm just not going to mention it again. Oh, those little wow wow, yeah, they're fucking sick. Oh, these little, just an absolute cheekster, just an absolute cheekster. Loving the range of fun stuff and more grisly stuff here. You know, had those prodding notes as dee 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 dee, and then the other ones that are just like row, you know, proper growly stuff, and just getting you in the mood. You know, my shoulders, they were bopping. My fucking, the chicken arms were coming out, and I was getting the little gun fingers going and all of that. And that is what you get when the flow and the rhythm of it is just very on point, and that's exactly what we get here. A very fun tune. Yeah, it just, it's making me happy. It's making me just want to move along to it, and the range of sounds very good. Again, you know, there is that thing just kind of holding it back a little bit, but I don't really want to go into it again because you know what I'm going to say. Kind of like the ominous, that would have to be the only thing that I'm kind of thinking about by way of improvement here. Again, Hugh Cage is showing us that he is an absolute cheekster when it comes to rhythm music. You can't deny that. Like, his tunes, they just get you moving, get you bopping, get you in the mood, and he's becoming increasingly reliable on that front. You know, it's rare for me that his ideas don't hit. It's just they've got a catchiness to them. They've got an infectiousness that you just can't put down. They just fucking get you, and we've got that again here. A good start here with the opening 3 on Enchanted Volume 1, I have to say. Next up, Mad Dub's Lovely. Will it be lovely? Let's find out.
Liking this build. Liking it quite a bit. Ooh. Very sweet, this tune. I'm smiling along with it. Just extremely pleasant so far, you know, like a nice summer's day. Not a care in the world. Walking through a field, all the kind of blossoms falling around you. Very nice continuous feel to it. I don't think we got a break moment in the middle from what I remember. Like, it just kind of kept going with the beat, and that was good. I liked that. It just had the feeling that it was, you know, continuously washing over you. Not much else to say, to be honest. It's just a nice tune, you know, good musicality. I think the production was good. One thing I would have maybe said was that the release of each drop, I think, yeah, the percussion I think could have maybe come in a bit stronger. The transitioning from the build to each drop, yeah, maybe not being quite as impactful as it could be, which is okay. You know, I think some people will be fine with that, but you just want that first hit of the beat to be as super impactful as it can be, and come in, you know, making a statement and announcing itself kind of thing. It's just very alluring and inviting, and I'm liking it for that. Not loads to comment on, but just enough for me to, yeah, really get on board with it and get the good feeling from it, which is exactly what's happening. And yeah, it is indeed lovely. I will give it that. After that, Sleep Puppet by NAWTY. Okay. Always crying, man. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Shit. It's so beautiful. Fuck. I don't know why that connected with me so much. Like, oh, that was beautiful. Just found that so powerful. You know, it moved me. It moved me quite a lot, as you could see. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where, first off, in particular, it just kind of it transcends explanation. You know, it transcends the ability that I have to kind of explain how I'm feeling, because it was that powerful. Like, man, it really got to me. Like, fuck, I could feel myself kind of welling up a bit again. So powerful, but so subtle as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, just it didn't do that much, and it was the delicacy and the kind of fragility of it that I think really got me. And then when you get the heaviness as well, kind of the contrast between that, the just how vulnerable it could be in the lead up and the build, the introduction, and, you know, what we get in the first kind of third of the tune. And then the heaviness coming in, not feeling out of place or having a kind of unwelcomed feel to it, it fit in perfectly. The midsection just before that, just embellishing that very wholesome and joyous and pure and rich feel. And just to go back to that second drop, yeah, I liked the switch up. I enjoyed it. A bit more energy, and it just perked it up a bit, which was nice and pleasant, and it gave it a bit more life, which I think it deserved. It to kind of mirror and, you know, reflect a bit more the life that was coming from and emanating from the melodic aspect we get as well. So yeah, that one yeah, left quite a mark. You know, not that long, quite short comparatively here, but yeah, really cutting deep with the emotion there and feeling quite shot after that, but in a good way. You know, it's really kind of dug deep and got me here on the emotional level. I'm really liking that, and one of the best tunes I think I've heard so far in 2021. Like, you know, I'm gonna have to hear it again and get used to it more. Might be different on headphones or whatever, but nah, after that first listen, my word, that's left a mark. Moving on, Icarus by NAWTY. Okay, let's go. That emerging percussion, yet again, gotta love it. Once again, good and lively ideas from NAWTY. Yeah, just got that very full of life feel to it, and quite unpredictable in a way, but still keeping it together, which is what I love about his style. Percussion again, though, I would have to say, like, I said this before with him, but it just needs a lot more sharpness to it to really back up the idea. That would just take it to another level, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. You know, really powerful. You need that. I think you need that. Yeah, again, said pretty much everything I have to say already here. The energy of it, the colour of it, the full of life feel that we get throughout, very good, from introduction to drop, and then midsection drop, and the outro being a nice kind of toning down, a nice yeah, again, quite fragile and delicate in feel with the isolated piano, which was lovely at the end to, yeah, just give a bit of a reflective moment there at the end to close off. But yeah, I mean, a nice sprightly feel to it, quite lively in the heaviness, and yeah, good colour to it, as I said. The percussion not quite there again with him, and I know I'm not the only one that thinks that, you know, not in a bad way, not in a completely bad way, it's just something that can be worked on over time. And yeah, it's just for me quite a clear thing with his music that I've heard before, and which is, you know, I think it's improving, it's kind of going in the right direction, getting a bit sharper, a bit more defined. But yeah, really, those ideas do deserve a much sharper, a more refined, and a much more substantial backing up, if you get me, just to really unleash it fully and bring in even more life to it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, at the moment feeling just a bit flat, even though the idea does have a good amount of energy to it. So yeah, beyond that, not much else to say here. Liking the direction of it, and again, the relationship between different sections here, very good. No real, you know, faults on that front. I think the transitioning was good, and it just has, again, a very nice and pleasant melodic feel to it. Yeah, NAWTY, his stuff very much heading in the right direction, but just that little thing that I would improve to really take it up to another level. Once he nails that, there's no stopping him. Really is no stopping him. Next up, we have Venture by Sanjo. I think that's how you'd say that, but yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Let's go. Getting the Christmas bells out in March. Fair enough. Oi! Ooh. very cute and dainty and delicate, just kind of bouncing and bobbling along like a little Pokemon, you know, in the grass, just kind of, you know, just jumping and bobbling along. The introduction was fantastic, you know, before I forget. Yeah, that kind of holy feeling that we're getting a bit of here again, albeit a bit grander here, and then the kind of Christmassy bells that we got as well. They were good fun. And I really like, you know, just as we're kind of enjoying this second drop, how there isn't much sense of a build, do you know what I mean? Like, not that big, cathartic, and just building, hyped up moment. It just, like, the section before just transitions very seamlessly into the kind of heaviness that we get. Yeah, nice to get a track towards the end here that is, I think, distinctively chilled. You know, the whole comp so far has been quite blissful, quite pretty, and yeah, just very, very good feeling and very pleasant and warm. But yeah, they've all had their own bits of heaviness, you know, bits where, or parts where it gets a little bit darker, just a bit. But here, yeah, just again, very, very fluid in feel and not having, as I said, that big kind of cathartic moment of release, if you will. Not a load of anticipation and hype on the build front. Everything just kind of swimming along and melding into one another. The sections just, yeah, blending and fusing into one song here and not having that much distinction between them, which is good, I think, you know, as a song overall. Nice to get this one at this point. So, yeah, the introduction, lovely. Again, that kind of holy feel to it. Quite classical, quite choir-like, if you will. Quite Christmassy as well, which I've touched on already. Just very fun and bubbly and colourful and jovial, if you will. And then, yeah, that transitioning again seamlessly into the midsection moment we kind of got, and then further on into the second drop, the second release we got. Then again, a nice little piano moment at the end to, yeah, just round it off, and all isolated in that. It's just, yeah, very pretty and lovely. So, yeah, nice one to kind of, well, getting near the end here. To give a bit of a reflective moment on the compilation, but that was good from Sanjo. Yeah. And ultimately, we have Quaston with Ride and Back and Home. All three in one. Who would have thought? Let's go. Another lively idea here, good energy to it, and yeah, just filling me with life. You know, not loads of ambition to the idea itself, but sometimes, yeah, still just gets you moving and gets you excited. Bit of a hyperpop feel to it, you know. D&B! Come on, give it to me. Oh. Still. Another isolated piano moment here to finish off and round off. Yeah, they're good. Oh, that was fucking lovely right at the end there with those notes, man. That was beautiful. Very lively right from the very off, like that. It was quite intense from what I remember, just from the opening few seconds, and then it dipped into that kind of trappy hip-hop rap kind of beat. For me, it went on for just a bit too long and overstayed its welcome just a bit. I did like how it kind of just transitioned into the build, but yeah, for me, that section just overstaying its welcome just a little bit. But yeah, moving on through there, I think, yeah, the heaviness was good. Yeah, the snare choice was odd because there was one that was really good, and then at the end of every bar, there was one that was just a bit weird, a bit off. But yeah, the idea had a good energy to it again, and lively, full of life. Yep, had a good, just sprightly feel to it. Yet again, a bit directionless, I think, with the idea, and not that ambitious and rounded with what it was doing. But with this kind of music, you know, sometimes that's the appeal. Do you know what I mean? Just being a bit random, a bit scattered, a bit all over the place, and yeah, that is just what people get from it, and that's fair enough. And then a nice, again, little piano moment, all isolated and fragile and delicate at the end to kind of, yeah, round it off and give that reflective moment at the end. A bit of a theme here that's kind of, that we've got going on in this compilation, but I like it. It's good. I think it's a good way of, yeah, just providing that breathing moment at the end. It's good stuff, and yeah, it's just another colourful, lively, and melody-driven tune here to add to the ones we've had already, and yeah, make this compilation a very warm and inviting and welcoming one. Although I would say distinctly heavier than the ones we've got before. Yeah, in comparison, I think this one just a bit heavier and a bit gnarlier, if you will. But yeah, good to have that at this kind of closing stage. But yeah, Quaston, decent. You know, not the most memorable ideas for me, I would have to say, compared to what we've got before here in the compilation, but still a lot to get from it. So yeah, good stuff. And finally here today we have Hopeless by oolacile, the main man, the Halcyon man. Let's go. Very good musicality, liking that. Fucking hit me with it, come on! And these bits are brilliant. Like, shame again about the snare. You can hear there just it falls a bit flat. Yeah, a nice way to finish off here. I really enjoyed it was kind of like that vocal had maybe a bit of a pop rock, emo pop punk kind of feel to it. The heaviness, I really like the idea. Again, very lively, energetic. That's another kind of theme we've got going on here, just that bouncing off the walls kind of thing. That vibe and the dynamic between sounds being good. A sprightly feel to it, just full of life, full of energy, and giving you life as the listener, just injecting it into you. Again, for me with him, the percussion not quite backing up what's on top, but I do think the flavour just about carries it through here, and the musicality that we get there in that heaviness is just, it's infectious stuff. The and how it just kind of progresses on that front, very good, and it really brings you in. And again, got a bit of a story to it here that I think is just, and well, a good result of the transitioning between sequences being good again here. Nice way to finish here from oolacile, the Halcyon man, if you will, the main man at the very end here. And yeah, another thing I did want to mention, the range of sounds that we get here, very good. Yeah, very much showing himself off in that regard. Yeah, just kind of firing out at you, whilst still being quite controlled, which is good, and which supports the flow of it. The rhythm again here that we get is very good, a very seamless feel to it in the transitioning from one section to another. Beyond that, just another very pleasant and uplifting and memorable tune when you take into account the melodic aspect of it in combination with the vocal. So yeah, a good little mix of influences here to finish off from oolacile on Enchanted Volume 1, which to me at least feels distinctly lighter than Halcyon Sound Volume 1. In the heaviness at least, you know, I think here oolacile was just like, yeah, before you start making these tunes, What I would like is for the heaviness here to just have quite a glittery, pretty feel to it, quite warm and inviting, and not overly heavy, which I don't think we get here. Maybe the Quaston aside, which did have quite a dark feel to it in the heaviness, but still, even then, it was quite uplifting and, yeah, welcoming, and not that abrasive, which I think we did get quite a bit of in the Halcyon sound, you know, even though that compilation is still quite overtly melodic, I think the heaviness there was still very much shining through, which is good. You know, it's good to have that kind of comparison and contrast from one compilation to another. Otherwise, yeah, what would be the point in having two different comps, if you know what I mean? Overall, I would have to say my favourite Halcyon project so far. Yep, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. I really like it. Front to back, I think for me, maybe tails off a bit on the invention front, just a little bit at the end with the final three, but you know, not that much. I still think we get a lot of good there in that final three, but yeah, the first kind of half or so in particular really blow me away with the ideas here and the mix of them, the range of them. I like all of them, all 9 in one significant way or another. You know, whether it be an introduction or the midsection, the heaviness, the overall theme, the production, the ideas we get. Yeah, I like all of them in some way, in some important and fundamental way. You know, some of them a bit more all-rounded and more full and just, yeah, more complete on the whole. But yeah, all of them I'm really liking, and so it's kind of difficult to pick, you know, 3 or 4 when I like 6 or 7 of them quite a lot, and all 9 of them, as I said, in one significant way or another. But if I had to pick one, then the Muerte, as you all saw, did move me in quite a... yeah, it knocked me back. It hit me for 6. I don't know, didn't do too much, wasn't that out there, but really did. I mean, I was moved, and it's rare that that happens. So, yeah, if I had to pick one, then the Muerte for my favourites here. But not to take away from the compilation overall, really. I'm enjoying this one. Enchanted Volume 1, a new compilation series from Halcyon. Yeah, quite a bit. But yeah, there we have it. My live review of the new compilation from Halcyon, Enchanted Volume 1. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. But yeah, what did you guys make of it? Enchanted Volume 1, do you have a favourite? From the 9 that we got here, I'm sure you do. Drop all of your views, thoughts, and opinions in the comments section down below. Beyond that, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe if you yet to, hit the bell along the way, and my social media accounts and Discord are linked below, as well as the Nawtystep Patreon page, if you want to check that out, the different tiers, and get involved. But yeah, keep it naughty. If it's naughty, then you know, and I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace!